All right. Hey guys, and welcome to the live stream here on Pro Wrestling Unlimited's YouTube channel as we talk everything that took place tonight at the Royal Rumble. First off, before we even get started, I want to say thank you for helping us pass 12,000 subscribers. We're like 12,000. Let me get you the number exactly. We are at Let me get the exact number. 12,713 subscribers here on Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And excuse me, and that's like over 2,000 in the last month. I can't believe it. But enough about us and our channel. Tonight is all about the Royal Rumble and everything that took place. So what did you guys think? I see you in the chat right now talking to you guys. Cody Man is here. Vision Danny. John Cena. Let's see who else is here. Patricia Redix, JLA Vlogs, Rafael Rodriguez, Just for Fun Gaming. Thanks, guys, for being here with us on the live stream. Like I said, Royal Rumble was tonight. To me, it wasn't a bad show. I feel like the show was pretty good. Of course, there were some things that happened that people are mad about, some things that didn't happen that people are mad about, and we're going to talk about all that. So let's get started. So the show kicked off with, on the pre-show, it was Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi versus Alexa Bliss, Natalya, and Mickie James. It was a good match that served a good purpose. It set up the next women's title match over there, on SmackDown. Naomi did pin the champion Alexa Bliss, and I believe that match is going to take place in 2 weeks at Elimination Chamber. We then had Cesaro and Sheamus defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against Gallows and Anderson. All week leading up to this match, no one really knew who was going to win. The odds makers had it so close that you almost thought it was going to end in some sort of DQ, or the two-referee thing was going to play a factor and there wasn't going to be a winner. And then about an hour before the pay-per-view started, the odds went straight into Gallows and Anderson's favor, and they did become the new tag team champions. Pretty much it was good back and forth match, and then at the end they tried to hit the magic killer on, I want to say, Sheamus. They didn't get it, and then one referee got knocked down, and the other referee had to come in, and they ended up hitting the magic killer on Cesaro. Anderson did get the roll up on Cesaro, but he did have the tights, so they're going to want the rematch. They're going to get it anyways because they were the champs and guaranteed a rematch, but they're really going to want a rematch because they got cheated, kinda. We then had the final match of the pre-show. It was Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. It was a alright match. It was booked more like a squash match than anything. Like, Nia steamrolled through Sasha Banks. I was really surprised how little offense Sasha got and how dominant they made Nia look. Jax pretty much powered out of the Banks statement like it was nothing. Like, Sasha had the Banks statement on, and Nia just stood up. Like, whatever. Jax then took the double knees from Sasha Banks, and it did nothing to her as well. Jax then pinned her after a pop-up Samoan drop, and I don't know if they're going to continue this feud, but it did make Nia look good, as she's supposed to be in a fatal four-way at WrestleMania for the championship. So this made her seem like she could be somebody that can challenge for the title after beating a former champion in Sasha Banks. But before we get on the main card, let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Let's see. Afongo80 says AJ kicked out of everything. I love AJ. He's my favorite wrestler. Even though Cena won, they made AJ look so strong. They really did. They made AJ look really good in that match, and it was a great match. Like, I thought the match was going to go maybe another 15 minutes than it did. It was about 30 minutes or so, minus the intros, but it was a pretty good match. T Hall says Enzo Amore, entry number 27. I laughed my butt off. Yeah. I think the best part of Enzo being in the Rumble was Corey Graves. How Corey Graves was excited to see Enzo get his ass beat. Sorry, excuse my language. and was like, "Go backstage, don't come in this ring, don't do it." And so, like, Corey Graves made that whole spot like it was gonna be a pretty good spot to see Enzo get beat up by Brock Lesnar, but then Corey Graves just took it over the top and made it a great spot. But let's see. Angelito 14 says no Balor, no Joe, no Angle. Last minute changes again. Well, Angle was never scheduled to be in the Rumble. Balor was never scheduled to be in the Rumble, but Joe was. I don't know what's going on with that, as I haven't heard why Joe wasn't in the Rumble. Let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chat. Let's see. John Cena says CM Punk wasn't at the Rumble. CM Punk was never going to be in the Rumble. Cody Man, Bray versus Orton for the WWE title at Mania. Let's go. That is the plan. It's really interesting to see if they change that though, because originally, well not originally, but as far as I'm aware, the plan is for Bray to get the title in the Elimination Chamber. So for John Cena to lose the title after only 2 weeks, especially on his 16th reign, it's gonna make it not seem important. Like, oh, he's a 16-time champion, but he couldn't hold that title for more than 2 weeks. That last time, he's losing it. So I don't know exactly why they wouldn't have just kept the title on Styles and then have Bray get it in the Elimination Chamber, unless they've changed their mind and they're going Orton Cena at WrestleMania. But like I said, last I heard, Orton Bray, Orton Wyatt for the title. Let's see. Just for Fun Gaming says no Samoa Joe was such a disappointment. It was. Like, literally, if you guys saw, I was sending out tweets every entrance. Entering number 3, entering number 10, entering number... I had it all typed up and ready to go. Samoa Joe number 30. And then it was Roman Reigns. My head... I was probably as disappointed as everybody. But hey, I heard that situation could happen, but I heard it was going to happen with Cena. Because I was told that somebody could lose their championship match tonight but still get into the Royal Rumble, and I assumed Cena because my thought was, they're keeping the title on AJ so he can drop it at Chamber. But things changed. AJ lost, Cena won, Roman lost, so Roman got in the Rumble. So my thinking was wrong. Cusio says can't wait for Bray versus Randy at WrestleMania. Michael Child says, who would you choose to wrestle Kurt Angle in a retirement match? Brock Lesnar. There's wrestlers that have one opponent that they have their greatest matches with. Rock and Austin. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. John Cena and Edge. And then you have Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. Their best matches, in my opinion, came against each other in the WWE, and they had one it was a cross promotion between New Japan and TNA. It's also a really good match. Tony Man says Corey is such an amazing announcer. He really is. He's grown on me. At first, I didn't like him because he tried to play like the cool guy and whatever. Like I know I'm cool, but I don't have to say it. But he's really grown on me. That's for sure. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? James Lopez says Samoa Joe can be injured. I don't know. Samoa Joe, he wrestled at the last set of TV tapings in a dark match. So I would assume that he was fine about 3 weeks ago. But I haven't really heard much since. I'm pretty sure he's been working the house shows for NXT as well, so. But let's see. Supreme Bree 3345. Why was Brock eliminated early? Because they wanted to play up the whole Goldberg strong thing. They wanted to play, because Goldberg's whole thing is, I get in, I get out. And to build up the match with Brock at Mania, they had to have Goldberg eliminate Brock again. And then finally, if this is the case, Goldberg is going into Fastlane, taking the title from Kevin Owens, going into WrestleMania, and unless Goldberg signs on for more dates, Brock is getting that title at WrestleMania. So they had to do this because it's the way WWE books. They make one guy look really, really strong, and then at the end of the feud, the other guy can go over after getting beat a bunch of times. Look at Cena AJ. How many times did AJ Styles beat John Cena before tonight he finally got that victory, got that championship? So T. Hall says, congratulations to Gallows and Anderson finally winning the Raw Tag Team titles at the Royal Rumble. Yes. Let's see what else are you guys saying. This event had potential to be so much better. It did. I know the Cruiserweight title match was alright. The Bayley Charlotte match was but Cody Mann says Sting retired, unfortunately. Yeah, Sting's, I don't know if he wants to come back anymore. Fango80 says, when Harper discs clothesline Bray and then tried his sister Abigail, him was one of the best moments of the Rumble match. That was great. Like, that was amazing. Will H says, 2018 Royal Rumble, Shinsuke Nakamura and Kenny Omega in Philly, mecca of pro wrestling. I don't see that happening because Kenny Omega wants to sign a 1-year deal with New Japan, and he's not even going to start negotiating till mid-February. So, if he signs a 1-year deal in 2017, it's not going to be up until February, March 2018, unfortunately. So we can maybe see Kenny Omega at WrestleMania 34, but I doubt 2018 Royal Rumble. Let's see, James Lopez says, how Goldberg gets title matches weird and how Brock is no more contender will be interesting. It will be. They've been teasing it. Goldberg keeps saying, I'm going to get one more run as the champ, I'm going to get one more run as the champ. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it happens, but Cody Mann says, what team do you think will face AA for the belts at Mania? American Alpha. If they go with the last plan I heard, it could be a multi-team match like they did at WrestleMania 20, where they had 4 corners tag team for both tag team titles. They may be doing that again this year at WrestleMania for the Raw tag titles and the SmackDown tag titles. Don't quote me on it. Things can change, but that was one idea I was told is being pitched. Because, they want to get as many people as they can on the card for WrestleMania. Yes, they got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal where every extra person can get thrown into. But with so little tag teams, I think that's a good way to do it. Fredo Pont says, any news on Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole? Nothing. Kyle O'Reilly right now is kind of expected. People think Adam Cole is going to come as well, but Adam Cole's deal with ROH doesn't expire till April. But let's get to the main card and run that down. So the main card started off, Charlotte and Bayley for the women's title. The match was good, but it was kind of quick. It ended sudden. Charlotte used natural selection on the apron and got the clean pin. There was a few near falls. Charlotte got her mouth busted open from a jumping downward spiral face buster by Bayley. Bayley did a plancha and also did an elbow off the top for a near fall. Charlotte worked over her left leg to set up a figure 4, figure 8 spot as well. The crowd was pretty hot for this match as, it was the opener. Yes, they had seen 3 matches, but then Shawn Michaels came out there, got that match hyped. Let's see. QCO is asking about Shelton Benjamin. He says, I was also rooting for Shelton to be a surprise. Shelton has actually not been cleared from his shoulder surgery, so Shelton Benjamin was never going to be in that Rumble. They were kind of hoping when he got the surgery he could be cleared for the Rumble, but it just didn't go down like they planned. And then we had, after the women's title match, we had the Universal title match, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns with the Universal title on the line. It was a no DQ match with Jericho in the shark cage. Let's see. This was a pretty physical match. There was a lot of big power spots in this match. Everything was used. Tables, chairs, brass knucks. Roman was cut from the bridge of his nose, and Owens was cut on his left eye. Like, these guys took it to the extreme in this match. At one point, Reigns gave Owen a Superman punch, knocking him off the ropes. He fell backwards onto 7 chairs that Owens had originally set up at ringside in like a pyramid. Owens also, before that though, had Roman Reigns on the outside laying on a table and did a frog splash from the top rope to the outside of the ring. Like, when I said they went to the extreme in this match, they went to the extreme. Also, early on in the match, Jericho dropped some brass knucks from the shark cage. I thought he was going to drop the U.S. title. My thing, I said it on Twitter. I said, watch. Jericho's going to get in that cage with the U.S. title around his waist and then drop it to Owens. But instead, he dropped brass knucks. I knew he was going to drop something. But then at the end of the match, after Roman Reigns had put Owens through the chairs, then He powerbombed him through the announce table. Owens was done. Roman rolled him in. He went for the pin, and out comes Braun Strowman. Strowman pulls Roman out of the ring, choke slammed him on the announce table, brought him in the ring, power slammed him through a table, and then Owens rolled over and got the pin. That's setting up Roman versus Strowman at, I want to say, Fastlane. I know for the next month they're advertised to be working every house show together. Now, originally, Roman versus Strowman was booked for Mania, but Vince now feels that Strowman may not be ready for the Roman Reigns match at Mania. So, Roman may be going Undertaker, and we saw that in the Rumble. We saw that teased big. We then had a lot of people asked this question. They said, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Universal title match, why is it second on the card? Because there's really only 4 matches other than the Rumble on the card. So in that in match number 2, it had to be either the Universal title match or the WWE title match. And then they had the Cruiserweight title in the middle as a buffer. So that's essentially, the show was timed and booked almost perfectly. Like, maybe not booked perfectly, but the way they laid everything out really worked well. But then we had the Cruiserweight title match. Neville won the title clean with a superplex off the top rope and then a crossface submission. So I think that's going to be Neville's new thing. He's not going to hit the red arrow often because he's a heel and he doesn't want to get those pops. You know, as a heel, you want to get booed. If he hits the red arrow, the crowd's going to go nuts. It was a very good match with strong athleticism and timing. They did one big spot which saw Swan doing a Phoenix splash off the middle rope to the outside. This wasn't as good as a lot of the stuff that I've seen in the Cruiserweight matches, especially in the Cruiserweight Classic, but it was still a better match than we've been seeing on Raw and 205 Live. And now that Neville's the champ, it really opens it up to a lot more people that can challenge for that title, because I feel there's more baby faces in the Cruiserweight division right now than there really are heels. We then had the AJ Styles John Cena WWE title match. This match was good. I really did enjoy this match, and a lot of people told me that they did. But before we do that, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Scroll up here, see what you guys are saying. Efango80 says the king of the cruiserweights. Yeah, he finally got his crown. James Lopez, it's pretty obvious Triple H will attack Rollins tomorrow at Raw. A lot of people expected Rollins to be on the show tonight, but when they announced early that Rollins was doing the thing with Stephanie tomorrow, I knew that negated it. Because why would they have Rollins at least cut a promo or something tonight when he did it last night and then do something again tomorrow? It would have been overkill. If Taker doesn't appear on the next few weeks, I'm seriously pissed. We may not see Taker till Fastlane. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I feel. Roman's going to go into something with Braun, and if they bring Undertaker back before that's done, it kills the whole Roman Reigns Braun Strowman thing. And they have something with Braun and Roman because Braun screwed Roman out of the title. The whole Undertaker thing can come later. Undertaker can come back and say, you know what, you eliminated me from the Royal Rumble. I want my revenge, this and that. But right now, because there's actually already something set up from the Universal title match, they have to do Braun Roman first before Taker can come back. Stephen Davis' crowd was heated when Roman eliminated Undertaker. I was honestly pissed as well. They were heated the whole rest of the match until Roman got... From the time Roman's music hit at number 30 till he was eliminated... Pretty much, it was the end of the match. He got eliminated by Orton at the end. Till the end of the match, they were pissed. That crowd was mad. I Am Cloth says Reigns entering at number 30 was the biggest FU I've ever seen. WWE gives its fans. Wow. JLA Vlog says Rich won that or nah. No, Rich Swann did not win. Neville is your new Cruiserweight champion. Super Bree 3344, are they now having Strowman versus Roman? Yes, that's going to be the next program, like I said, for the next couple of weeks. Probably capping off at Fastlane. Let's see what else you're saying. KKC Gamer 10 says WWE are such trolls. Let's see. James Lopez, I think Reigns will fight Strowman in Fastlane and Undertaker Mania. That's the last plan I was told. No Laura says Dean Ambrose and James Ellsworth moment. LOL. That was good. Where Dean was like, "Let's go get them together. Let's do it. Let's do it." Took 2 steps and just Ellsworth thought he had his back. Nope. Nobody wanted in that ring when James Ellsworth was there. Nobody. I mean, Braun Strowman was in there. Nobody. Fongo80 says, if Roman beats Taker, I am done. You really think, Nick, no offense to anybody that thinks Taker's going to win, but I don't think Taker would win that. I really think if they're trying to build up Roman as the next John Cena, the next guy in the WWE, he can't lose The Undertaker. He can't lose to anybody at WrestleMania this year. Like, 2 years ago, WrestleMania 31, he lost. He got pinned by Seth Rollins. Okay, that was the beginning of the Roman Reigns experiment. But then last year, he won at WrestleMania. This year, he's going to probably most likely go over at WrestleMania as well. So, just going to say, if he faces Taker, there's a better chance than not Roman's winning. Jim Bean says, I just don't really care for Randy winning. I think Randy versus Bray, yeah, we saw it at Backlash. The match has been done. But I feel like it's going to be something different. And it's going to be something good if they do it at WrestleMania. Like, people they try harder at WrestleMania. It's going to be a title match. It'll probably be match number 2. It'll probably be Goldberg, Lesnar's the main event. And then the second match from the top will probably be the WWE title match because Randy won the Rumble. But that's not a guarantee. Because everyone keeps asking me, why is Goldberg Brock main eventing if neither of them won the Rumble? But we've seen in the past, like when Sheamus won the Rumble, Sheamus' title match was an 18-second match on the pre-show against Daniel Bryan. And when Del Rio won the 40-man Rumble, he faced Edge for the title in the first match on the show, on the main card. So, yeah, they say main event title match at WrestleMania, but we've seen before that's not the case. Vision Danny says Joe is debuting on SmackDown. I would hope he comes out this week on SmackDown. I would hope. And they put him in the Elimination Chamber. Bingo. Or they announce him for the Chamber and we don't see him till then. I don't think that can happen, but there's a chance. George Polakis, hopefully I said your name right. I was fuming when Roman's music came on, and I was literally about to kill myself coming from a Roman fan. Wow. But, alright, let's go over this WWE title match. Match went 24 minutes. Like I said, almost a half hour. I really thought it was going to be longer. This is clearly their attempt of match of the year. You can really tell they were trying to outdo Okada and Omega by the stuff that was going on in this match. They were trying to make it like one of those big, I can't believe what I just saw kinds of matches. The finish saw Styles hit a second Styles Clash, but was selling so he didn't go for the pin. He went for a springboard 450, but Cena got him with his knees in the shoulder, grabbed him, hit an attitude adjustment, then rolled him over, hit him with a second attitude adjustment, and got the pin, tying Ric Flair as a 16-time world champion. But if you really think about it, if you really go back in history and look at it, I'm pretty sure Flair's had more than 16 world titles. It's just there's only really 16 major world titles that they count. Some of them were like really quick reigns and stuff, and they just don't count it. The match was basically them doing every move in the world and then kicking out. It was a John Cena AJ Styles match. Big move, kick out. Big move, kick out. Big move, kick out. It's how the last couple one-on-one matches between Cena and AJ really have gone. Styles kicked out of the first AA early and a second one off the middle rope. Styles used the forearm. The Styles Clash. Cena kicked out of both. Cena also did a big ending. Styles used... It was... I guess you can call it a big ending. Yeah. It was more like a modified... said here in my notes, big ending, but then at the same time, it was almost a modified cutter. Cena did use a figure four. Styles used the calf crusher, and Cena used the STF as well. With this match and the Owens Reigns match, it's been a long time since WWE's had a show that had two really strong title matches like this. Like, it's been a while. Not even last year's SummerSlam or last year's WrestleMania had two title matches that were this strong on the same show. But I guess this is the first one with two world titles since the brand split. So, I guess, yeah. Well, SummerSlam had two world title matches. That Dean Ziggler match should have just been a pre-show match. They then announced that on Raw, Stephanie would confront Seth Rollins, and I sure. So we're gonna have to wait and see. They then did a. They did before this. They did the top 30 moments of the Royal Rumble, but it really wasn't moments. It was facts about the Rumble. But yeah. Royal Rumble match. Before I get into this match, I'm going to see what you guys say in the comments, and then we're going to dive right in to the Royal Rumble match. Michael Plays Games and Vlogs says, I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon is dead, but it's going to be taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family. Wow. That's your opinion. You have a right to have that opinion. Goncalo Casaka says Styles should win Money in the Bank at Mania. Now, I've heard people suggest this, but I don't know if they're going to do a Money in the Bank match at Mania and at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I know Money in the Bank is still happening, and it's not a dual-branded pay-per-view, so it's going to be interesting to see who gets Money in the Bank and what the other brand really gets, I guess, in return, I guess, if you want to say. Alfredo Ponch says, is the Perfect 10 now on the main roster? I would hope, but you can't say that for sure. Because if you remember last year in the Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn was in the Rumble, but he didn't come to the main roster till right before Mania. So yes, they used Ty Dillinger, but it doesn't 100% guarantee he's on the main roster. I would assume, but we're gonna have to wait and see. What brand would they? I guess you should put him on SmackDown. It's interesting because everybody that could come up from NXT right now, Nakamura, who's not because he's gonna still work Rude, Joe, Dillinger, I see them all going to SmackDown. Jim Bean says Shane cannot be in another match. He is just in a match because of a spot, and that's it. They feel like Shane's a draw. I've said this a lot this past week, but last year, before Shane McMahon came back, there was interest in WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. People just want to be there because it's WrestleMania. But then Shane came back, and then they announced Shane versus Undertaker in Hell in a Cell, and when that happened, tickets and interest skyrocketed. So they feel that fans want to see Shane wrestle. Fans want to see Shane at WrestleMania. And so they think Shane needs to have another high-profile match this year. That's their thinking. Just saying. You guys are chatting so fast, I'm missing some of them. WZRD Mike asks, Roman is heel now. He has to be. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. Ari Safe? I think I said that right. Terrible surprise entrance. Apollo, Kalisto, Ellsworth. Are you kidding me? Yeah. They didn't have anybody that's not employed or on WWE television already in the Rumble. There was no surprise entrance really this year. It was really just some guys didn't announce they were in the Rumble before they were in the Rumble. Really, and it wasn't even a surprise. Your only surprise entrant was Ty Dillinger because he's down on the main roster. So quote unquote a surprise. I'm just glad he came out at number 10 and didn't come out at another number, but I'm just glad they did get somebody from NXT. Supreme Bree 3345, Ty versus Miz. That could be a really good match. Miz is a whole lot better in the ring than he's been in the last couple years, and him in a Ty Dillinger match could be great. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? Dev asks, what's Dean doing for WrestleMania? That is unknown. If you guys saw my WrestleMania card video, I did a video with all the matches we know of so far. But there's a lot of matches we don't know, like what The Miz is doing, what Dean Ambrose is doing, what Dolph Ziggler is doing, what Braun Strowman is doing. A lot of that is unknown right now. I think the IC title will be a ladder match like the last 2 years. That is a possibility, but here's my idea. You do the ladder match idea, but you do it in the Cruiserweight division. You do a 6-man Cruiserweight title match for the Cruiserweight title. You got Neville, Rich Swann, Brian Kendrick, TJ Perkins, Gallagher, and Cedric Alexander. You want to add more, you can add more. Tony Nese, Noam Dar. You can add a couple more, but if you do 6, those are your 6 that I think they should do. Maybe you can trade out Gallagher, but the essential 5 you should do. If you do the ladder match at Mania for the Cruiserweight title, like I said, Neville, Swan, Kendrick, Perkins, Cedric, and then whoever else. Let's see. I want AJ vs. Finn with the club. That's from Joan Pepe. WZRD Mike says, you think there will be any big specialty matches at Mania other than the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and a possible multi-man ladder match? Not that I've heard of. No, like, gimmick matches. James Lopez says Ambrose will probably be with The Miz. That all depends on... It's going to be very interesting to see who they put in the Elimination Chamber. We know Cena's going to be in the chamber because he's a champ. We know AJ will probably be in the chamber match. Well, it's almost a guarantee. Bray, because he's supposed to win it. But then you have 3 more spots to fill Baron Corbin. Maybe you throw in Luke Harper. And then Dean Ambrose or The Miz or Dolph Ziggler. Probably not Dolph, but Dean or The Miz. Or maybe a Samoa Joe for that last spot. And then you can do an IC title match. Don't put Dean in there. And you do an IC title match. You don't need to put Dean. Yes, you want all the bigger names on your brand, but don't put Dean in the Elimination Chamber because he's the IC champ. We need to see that title defended on the pay-per-view. John Pello says Orton versus Cena ? I doubt it. Like I've said, Orton versus Wyatt. All right. Benjamin Dickerson says Corbin versus Ambrose for the IC title. That could be a good match. Ambrose versus Corbin or Ambrose versus Joe. As of right now, at Mania, Joe versus Cena. Think about that. No championship. Fluffy Shoe, what do you think about number 30 in the Rumble? We're going to run down the Rumble right now, so I'll let you know exactly what I think. But, alright. So the Rumble starts off, and we got to go, who's number 1? Who's drawing number 1? And let me get something off my chest for a second when it comes to number 1 and number 2. Everybody makes a big deal about if you draw number 1, if you can make it to the end. That's such a big deal, drawing number 1. But they don't make it as big of a deal if you say, oh, well, you drew number 2. Number 1 and number 2 are essentially, it's like 1A and 1B. So I don't know exactly why it's such a big deal why it's more of a deal to get number 1 than number 2. It's not like you draw number 1 and you standing out there by yourself doing nothing. So essentially, drawing number 1, number 2 is the same thing, but they make it seem like it's a bigger deal because you're number 1. But anyways, let's run down this Rumble. So number 1 was Big Cass. Enzo comes out and does the super long promo, does his usual Enzo spiel. So you think, okay, if Enzo's coming out here now, Enzo's probably not in the Rumble. So Cass gets in the ring. Enzo goes back to the backstage area, and out comes Chris Jericho at number 2. All right, so he goes out there, and those two go for a little while, and then in the number 3 spot, we see Kalisto, the first quote-unquote surprise entrant. We then get number 4, Mojo Rawley. Now, Jericho in this match broke the record. He broke the record of longest time in the Royal Rumble, period. Triple H had the record at 4 hours and some odd minutes over all of your whole time ever in a Royal Rumble. Like, not just in one Rumble, but in, like, overall your career of Rumbles. Jericho now has the record. I don't know the exact number, but they said he beat the record. He beat Triple H's record of longest time spent over your career in the Rumble. So that's cool. Another thing I liked with Chris Jericho is how he kept slipping out of the ring. And it was funny because he kept going over the announce table, and you can hear him faintly talking to the announcers, trying to say little funny, witty things. It was pretty cool. But after Mojo came out, we had the second surprise entrant, number 4, Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher was also the only cruiserweight in this match. At number 5, another surprise entrant, Mark Henry. Wasn't much of a surprise with Mark Henry, I think, wanting to retire after this year and being a Texas boy. It was inevitable for him to be in this match. Then we had number 7, Number 7, Braun Strowman. The big man. And he played the big man well in this match. Braun ended up eliminating, I want to say, 7 or 8 guys. I think it was 7. But the record was 12 by Roman. So he got a good number. I'll tell you that. Number 8 was Sami Zayn. Oh my God. Let me go back in the night real fast. We had a segment where Mick and Stephanie were backstage, and they had the little barrel, or whatever you want to call it, where people can pull their numbers. Shane and Daniel Bryan walk up, they all shake hands, and they start, shaking them up, rolling them up, getting them all, whatever. And Sami comes in. Is this where I pull my number? Is this where I get a number? So Sami they have to help him. Like, they're making Sami Zayn look so stupid. They had to help him get in there and and get his number, right? Dean Ambrose walks up and is like, I need my number. Blah-da-da-da. Okay, so he grabs his out of there and he looks at Sami Zayn. And Sami's like playing with the ball like he's not all there. Like, I made a reference on Twitter. I said, in this segment, I literally thought I was looking at Eugene. Do you guys remember Eugene? Eric Bischoff's quote-unquote nephew from back in like 2004, 2005, whenever it was. Do you remember Eugene? That is exactly what Sami Zayn reminded me of today. He even did the thing where Eugene used to walk around with his tongue half sticking out of his mouth. He did the exact same thing. So anyways, he's sitting here playing with the thing like he can't open it. So Dean goes, you want me to open it for you? Dean Ambrose takes it from him, opens it up and goes, you're number 8. And he looks at him and goes, really? And Dean goes, oh, wait, no, I have it upside down. Turns upside down. I'm like, what the? He goes, yeah, you're number 8. I see it now. And then he throws the paper and walks off, tells Daniel Bryan, or Daniel Bryan says, you're going to open your number. And Dean goes, why waste the surprise? Just come get me when my music hits. Anyway, so yeah, they're making Sami Zayn, who is a great worker, look stupid and retarded. But Sami comes out at number 8. Number 9, The Big Show. Big Show and Braun Strowman go face to face for a while, and that was teased on Raw last week, and it was pretty cool. Then at number 10 was your only NXT superstar, the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger and Sammy worked good together. They tried to get out Strowman. They kind of half got him out one time. And then number 11 hits, and it's another surprise entrant who kind of wasn't a surprise because he'd been trying to. This didn't make sense. How can everybody just say, I want to be in the Rumble, declare it? But James Ellsworth, who came out at number 11, had to get the support of the fans on Twitter to get him in the Rumble. Like, some of this stuff doesn't make sense. Like, go back to Sami Zayn. Like last week on Raw when Sammy goes, I want to get in the Rumble match. What kind of clerical paperwork do I have to fill out? Like, no, you just say, I'm in the Rumble. So, I don't know. Skycrafting Mikey says, why are they doing this to Zayn? All I was told is he's got heat backstage for some reason. They're mad at him, so they're going to make him look like a geek on purpose. And he's just going to do it because that's what they're giving him to do. So, but then number 12, well, first off, so James Ellsworth comes down with Carmella, and he sees that Braun's just standing there by himself. Everybody else is knocked down. And James Ellsworth is like, I'm not getting in there. And Carmella's trying to push him. She goes, go, go, go. You got to get in there. You want to win the Rumble. And he's like, no, no. And then number 12 hits, and it's Dean Ambrose. So Dean comes down to the ring. You know, the whole Dean Ambrose, I'm bad, and I'm going to walk down here like I am, and then I'm just going to get in there and beat somebody up kind of thing. But then he stops and looks at Ellsworth, right? And he goes, you and me? We going to do this? Points at Braun Strowman. He goes, let's go. 1, 2. And so Ellsworth thinks Dean's coming with him, runs, slides up in the ring, and then Dean stops. And just stands there, looks at Ellsworth, and Strowman just destroys him. Literally picks him up and just hurls him over the top rope. Then Dean gets in the ring. Keep in mind, Jericho's sitting at ringside just like waiting for his turn to get back in. So then number 13, unlucky number 13, Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin. After Sami Zayn hit a pretty good haluva kick on Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin eliminated Braun Strowman. There's also a part in this match when Baron Corbin, I forget who it was on, but he went for I think it was The Miz. He went for a deep 6 and like extra rotated and put some oomph into it, and it was like a deep 12. But and then number 14, it was sorry, my mind's kind of slipping here. Number 14 was Kofi Kingston, the first of all 3 members of the New Day to be in the match. Kofi had a good spot. I don't understand the spot, but this is a Kofi Kingston cool kind of save spot. Before, when we've seen Kofi Kingston, quote-unquote, save himself to get back in the Rumble, you didn't realize it was coming. But with this one, it was so stupid. Like, they have these new big turnbuckles. So he kind of stood on it. So you're like, oh, he's going to do something with this turnbuckle. He's going to get, quote-unquote, knocked out, but save himself. And that's what happened. He was standing up there. Corbin clotheslines him, chops him down, and he falls, grabs the top of it, saves himself, and then pops back in. They could have done something that was more like, I didn't see that coming. Like with the whole JBL chair thing, or the handstand thing, or the leap from the barricade thing. But that one was just, he took too long, I guess, to set it up. But number 15 came out The Miz. Miz, was in there for a while. Number 16, Sheamus. We're going to get to Sheamus and what happened with him in a minute. But then number 18 was the second member of the New Day, and it was Big E. Number 19 was Rusev. And Rusev was wearing a face mask because they had noted that on Raw this past week, he quote-unquote broke his nose. Then at number 20 was Cesaro. And when Cesaro came out, he gave everybody standing the swing. And then it was funny because he went to do the swing on Sheamus, and Sheamus looks at him and goes, "No, we're partners. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it." So that was kind of funny. But then I think it was, who did they eliminate together? Let me go back into my notes and see if I wrote this down. I don't think I wrote it down. But Sheamus went to eliminate somebody. I'm going to go back and check. Sheamus went to eliminate somebody. Cesaro helped him with the elimination. And then they both got eliminated together. I'm going to go back and check real fast. There it was. Okay, so Sheamus started to try. He was getting triple teamed by the New Day. Cesaro comes up, and they both end up eliminating all three members of the New Day. Sheamus then looks at Cesaro and tries to throw Cesaro over the top rope, and Cesaro's, fighting him off. What are you doing? What are you doing? And Jericho comes over and just dumps them both. So where were we at? Number 20. So number 19 was, oh my bad, I counted wrong. Number 19 was Cesaro. Number 20 was Xavier Woods. Number 21, the lights go out, and it's Bray Wyatt. Number 22, we had another surprise entrant in Apollo Crews. Yeah, Apollo Crews, a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. Like, really? At this point, the crowd wanted Goldberg bad, and they just started doing the Goldberg chant. Number 23, out comes your eventual winner, Randy Orton. Randy Orton RKO'd every person in that ring at that moment, and then he helps up Bray. Number 24, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler had himself a super kick party. Super kicking everybody from The Miz to Rusev to Cesaro. I mean, he super kicked everybody, and they made him look, I don't want to say strong, but it was cool with all the super kicks, if that's how you want to go. Number 25 was Luke Harper. Now, Luke Harper comes in, and he's just dead-eyed on Randy Orton. Like, I want you, and I want you bad. Like, I want to whip your ass. So Bray does the whole, we're not doing this, we're family, don't do it, Luke. And then Luke Harper just does that discus right to Bray Wyatt. Randy Orton then hits him with an RKO. And then Luke Harper, no, this was before. Yes, okay, so let me go back into my notes here. I'm trying to do this. That's right, he hits the clothesline. And then later on in the match, he almost goes for a Sister Abigail to Bray Wyatt, but then gets reversed out of that to an RKO. There we go, that's what it was. So he was number 25. Number 26, the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar went crazy. He started throwing people over the top rope. German suplex, RKO. I mean, F5, not RKO, F5. He was just hitting everybody and anything. Lesnar came in and destroyed people. Then, number 27. Another surprise entrant, Enzo Amore. And this is when Corey Graves was just perfect. And he was like, are you kidding me? I'm happy because Enzo's going to get killed. But Enzo, you can't be this stupid. Like, he was just like, go to the back. Don't come out here. And then Enzo stands up on the... Brock's the only one standing in the ring. Enzo climbs up on the ring apron. And Corey Graves is like, don't take your shirt off. Don't do it. Don't get in this ring. And he takes his shirt off. And Corey Graves is like, don't do it. Don't do it. And Enzo gets in there and Corey Graves goes, done. And then Enzo just gets murdered by Brock Lesnar. And finally, at number 28, Goldberg. And what happens? Goldberg takes his time coming down, just staring Brock down the whole time. Gets in the ring. Him and Brock start to go at it. And before you know it, he spears Brock Lesnar and just throws him out. Brock's gone. Like, What? So then number 29 comes out, and the gong hits, the lights go out, lights come back on purple, lights go out for a split second, and boom, Undertaker's in the ring. So Undertaker and Goldberg go at it for a while. Goldberg spears the Undertaker, and then the Undertaker eliminates Goldberg. So we're sitting there, and we're thinking, okay, there's one more person that can come in. It's either going to be somebody that nobody's expecting, which it was, or it's going to be Samoa Joe. It's got to be Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's been planned to come in the Rumble. Everybody expected it to be Joe, and they're counting down 10, 9, 8, and I'm sitting here, yes, Samoa Joe. Let's do it. Let's do it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then usually like they say 1, and then within like a second the music hits, but it didn't. And you're waiting for like 3-4 seconds, and you hear the bump, 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 and that place just 52,000 people booing. Roman didn't get booed that bad during his entrance for the Universal Title match, but when he came out in the Royal Rumble number 30, he got booed so bad. Roman Reigns entering the Royal Rumble number 30. Oh my God. And then what does he do? He eliminates The Undertaker. Like, wow. Good and bad on this, though. Like, if Joe would have came out, then people would have been like, this Rumble was predictable. We knew Joe was coming. We knew, there wasn't going to be many surprises outside the company. So everyone would be like, it was too predictable. So there's the one good thing on Roman Reigns. Like, people don't want to hear this, but the one good thing about the Roman Reigns entrant was that it was so out of left field that nobody saw it coming at all. So then eventually, we get down to the final 4, and we get down to the final 3, and the final 3 are Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns. So you think, oh, they're going to team Roman Reigns, get him out, and then we're going to see that tension, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton. But they double team Roman. Roman gets the better of them. Roman Superman punches Orton. Orton falls down. He Superman punches Bray, throws Bray out. We get Bray versus Roman. Orton versus Roman. Orton's sitting in the corner, slowly getting up, so Roman goes for a spear. Mid-spear, RKO. Randy jumps up, grabs Roman, throws him, hurls him over the top rope, and Randy Orton, like it was expected, like it was favored, wins the Royal Rumble. So that was the 2017 Royal Rumble. The match, I feel like the match was alright. The pacing was good. It wasn't like someone came in quick elimination or people were in too long. I think it was timed out well. It actually, the show itself ended like 20 minutes before the top of the hour, which surprised me. But overall, it's pretty good. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Benjamin Dicker says a chorus of "This is bullshit" chants. Jim Bean says worst decision to eliminate Taker. But it was to set up the match at WrestleMania, so if you really look at it, they did do that. They did set up for WrestleMania. They set up Undertaker versus Roman. They further set up Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, and they set up Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton if that's the direction they're going. That we don't know 100%, but it is the plan as of this weekend to have Bray go in as a champ and then Orton, the Royal Rumble winner, challenge. But let's see what else you guys are saying. Just for Fun Gaming says they would have thrown chairs in the ring if Reigns won. Supreme Bree 3345, they need to have Chris defend the U.S. title, and Kevin accidentally cost him the title, and that's how they should start the rivalry. Anyone agree with me? That would be a good idea. It's kind of like what happened in Roadblock where Seth Rollins went over Kevin Owens or Chris Jericho because Owens tried to come down and help Jericho, and it was more of a distraction on Jericho than it was on Rollins. So we've seen that happen. It can happen again. It's a good way because they can be like, you know what? You try to help me too much, and every time you try to help me, Kevin, it doesn't work out. So Giancarlo Gasaka says, worst Mania ever. I don't think so. But let's see. Let's scroll up here in the chat and see what you guys are saying. I saw you guys talking a lot. Ben Tremer says Apollo Crews shouldn't be in there. Be the British jar of mayo and Ellsworth and Kalisto. Let's see. Let's see. And Fango 80 says Cesaro and Sheamus had no need to be in it. Let's see. Let's see. Ben Tramer says, yes, really. Can't believe y'all WWE fans actually like this Rumble. Only good match was Cena Styles. I think the Roman Owens match was good. And the Royal Rumble match was a Royal Rumble match. It could have been better, but it couldn't have been any worse. Just for Fun Gaming says Kofi's save wasn't that good. No, I don't think so. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? And Fango80 says, last year's Mania was pretty damn bad. Yeah, it wasn't. It was alright. I liked last year's Mania. J Flight says, do you think Triple H will be there tomorrow? That's a hard one because they're doing the Seth Stephanie thing. I can see that maybe opening the show, since it's already been announced and they're promoting it already. But I don't know. I think what's going to happen is he's not going to be there, and they're going to do a whole thing where Rollins is like, oh, so he's afraid of me. He's got to send his wife to fight his battles and dish out the punishment or whatever. So I think that's something that could happen. But let's see what else you guys are saying. The Rumble is way better than last year. Yeah. This year's Rumble match was a little better. I think it was about the same. Benjamin Dicker says Cena vs. Styles had too many finisher kickout spots. But that's how every Cena Styles match is. Remember SummerSlam? Money in the Bank? That's how they all went down. Gabe17 says, do you think Bayley botched at the end? Botched what, though? I didn't see a botch spot by Bayley. What spot exactly are you talking about, Gabe? Marcus Wilson says Seth Rollins deserves to be on the damn show. The whole Seth Rollins thing works. They're building towards a match at WrestleMania. And so they started it. They really started it when Kevin Owens won the title. And then they built to it last week on Raw where they screwed Seth out of the Rumble. And then last night at TakeOver, Seth came out and was like, I want Triple H, and Triple H got him out of there. And then they banned him from the arena tonight. And now they're doing the thing with Stephanie tomorrow. So they're really doing the slow build on this, and I like it. I understand most people would say, oh, Seth Rollins is one of the top guys. He's got to be at the Royal Rumble. But he doesn't if they're building to something bigger. If Rollins has never planned to win the Rumble, then it's okay that he's not in the Rumble. So, J Flight says, what do you think they have planned for Finn? That's very unknown. Right now, the plan for Finn Balor is to come back in March. Early to mid-March. From what I was told, there's a possible plan for Finn in place, but that it's not guaranteed just in case Finn doesn't, for some reason, get cleared in time for Mania. Walsh says, 2016 was a better Rumble. AJ Styles' debut. Supreme Breed 3345 says Seth Rollins gets beaten up on Raw one time. Stephanie should call for doctors, but it's actually Triple H. That would be a perfect for the rivalry to be great. Yeah, it could be alright. Austin Styles says, when is Joe debuting? I don't know now. I thought it was going to be tonight, but it could be this week. From all I know is he's supposed to be on SmackDown, so it could be this week. Maybe they announce him for the Elimination Chamber. James Lopez says, the botch was at the moment where natural selection happened. I didn't see a botch. I'd have to go back. Here, let me pull it up and go back and look. I will pull up the Royal Rumble right now and go take a look. How long do you think until Shinsuke gets called up? It's very unknown. Because it depends on when they do the rematch. If they do the rematch just on normal NXT for the championship, then he can come up by Mania. But if the plan is to do Shinsuke versus Bobby Roode at NXT TakeOver Orlando, then he's not coming up until after WrestleMania. Alright, let's see. Bayley versus Charlotte. Natural selection spot. Hold on. Pay-per-views. Alright, let's see. While I pull this up, I'm going to read some more of your comments. They need to get rid of Big Show versus Shaq. They want a celebrity involvement every year. They tried to get Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor laughed it off and said no. So they got Shaq. They've had Shaq for a couple months now. They had Shaq last year. Let's see. Just for fun gaming. In my opinion, Jericho shouldn't have the U.S. title. It's a mid-card title to help the mid-card talent. Jericho needs to drop it back to Rusev. Let's see. Alright, I've got the Charlotte Bayley match up here. Let me fast forward to find the natural selection spot. Alright, here we go. Here we go, okay. Let me give you a little on-the-spot commentary. Bayley climbs up on the ring apron. Charlotte gets on the ring apron, goes for the natural selection. No, I don't see a botch there at all. I don't know what you guys would think there was of any sort of botch. There wasn't a botch. It went exactly like it should have. She hit the natural selection. As she hit it, she slid off the apron. Bayley rolled into the ring after getting knocked with it, and yeah, it was fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. But let's get back to your comments. Reigns versus Taker at Mania is lame unless he turns heel. Roman for Reigns. Let's the heel turn for Reigns. My whole thing was, when everyone was asking me, is Roman Reigns going to turn heel? That's not the plan. Now, if you want to do Roman Reigns and Undertaker, you can have Roman go in as the heel, but it doesn't really matter because it's an Undertaker match. Undertaker is the kind of guy that no matter if you're babyface or heel, you just want to face the Undertaker at Mania, so it doesn't really matter. Funky Chicken 20 says, "Do you think Joe is wrestling Cena? Do you think Joe is wrestling Cena at WrestleMania?" Yes. The plan right now is Joe versus Cena at WrestleMania. Benjamin Dickerson, U.S. title will likely go KO at Mania because they won't save Jericho versus KO for later. Jericho is leaving in May. He actually said it in an interview this week. And that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Keep the U.S. title on Jericho till Mania, and then you make Jericho versus Owens the U.S. title match. That could work. It's a really good idea. Andre Dukes says, in my opinion, Bray Wyatt should have won. Should have won the Rumble. Okay, but the plans for Bray to get the title. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Bray could have won the Rumble. Orton get the title Elimination Chamber. But I don't know what the plan is for Mania. I think it really just depends on who's walking out of Mania the champ. And I don't know. I don't know what the long term is for the WWE Championship. Now, as far as the Universal Championship, if Goldberg gets that title at Fastlane, then he defends it against Brock at Mania. Brock has to walk out WrestleMania the champion, the Universal Champion, because unless Goldberg signs another contract, which Vince wants him to do, Goldberg's going to be gone. Brock's going to still be around. Unless, here's the only way I see Goldberg defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania works. Goldberg defeats Brock Lesnar, then the next night on Raw, comes out and says, I'm done. I'm retiring as the champion. I'm vacating the title. And then they do a tournament to crown a new champion. Yeah, it makes Brock look really bad. Brock's never going to get the win back. But that's one way they can do it. But if the title's on the line, I almost think Brock would have to win at WrestleMania regardless. Okay, Ben Trammer has a question. He says, please explain why they are shoving Roman's clock down our effing throats, and why are the cruiserweights in the Rumble the effing British jar of mayo? I think they just wanted one cruiserweight guy in there. They had some funny idea for Gallagher to use his umbrella, and Roman, they're shoving Roman down our throats because they think Roman's the guy. Vince and Triple H both believe that Roman Reigns is the guy to take over John Cena's spot. When John Cena leaves the WWE for good, they feel like that number one guy should be Roman Reigns. He's got the look. He's athletic. Yeah, people say that he has bad matches, but he could have a really good match when he needs to. So, Fluffy Shoe says, Styles versus Cena on SmackDown for the title. Guy comes in and wins title. Samoa screws Cena, set up for Mania. The next title match for SmackDown, I think, it's already set up. Shane already announced it. Elimination Chamber. Now maybe AJ can come on this Thursday or Tuesday and say, I want my rematch tonight. And they do it then, but I feel like it's not going to happen. He's not going to get that one-on-one. He might. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Let's see. Signature Kevin, do you think there was more Raw superstars than SmackDown superstars? I know before the Rumble, there were 13 Raw guys and like 8 or 9 SmackDown guys. But then I think with adding like Cruz and some of those other surprise, quote unquote, surprise guys, it almost evened it out. But I think there was a couple more Raw guys than SmackDown guys. So, No Lore says, can you please give your thoughts on Mickie James Talking Smack segment and Image, Ty Dillinger, and Daniel Bryan as a team? No disrespect to anybody, but why do people still believe Daniel Bryan's coming back? Daniel Bryan, at least in the WWE, is never wrestling again. They're never going to clear him to wrestle again. Daniel Bryan's done. Daniel Bryan is not wrestling for the WWE anymore. Ever again. He's going to be the general manager and work the rest of his contract, and he's going to leave. He's going to be gone. He's going to be done. So, I don't know. I don't know why people think Daniel Bryan's going to wrestle again. But the whole Mickie James thing, it's perfect. And it sets up their plan for WrestleMania perfectly. She says that the women's revolution really started with her generation. Her generation was Trish, Lita, Beth Phoenix. Who else was really big back then? Melina, Michelle McCool, Layla. That was her generation. And she says the women's revolution started then. But the Total Divas generation is now getting the credit for it. So I see it, and that's why they're going to do Mickie James versus Nikki Bella at WrestleMania. Or at least that's the plan right now. Let's see. Shane will book AJ in Elimination Chamber for his rematch. AJ will say that Shane's undermining him, and that leads into their program at Mania. Exactly. Benjamin Dickerson has a good thought right there. It's a good one because I think the whole thing with this AJ Styles Shane McMahon match is going to be that AJ feels that Shane doesn't respect him. And Shane, as the authority figure, AJ's going to say, I'm your biggest superstar here. You might want to say that John Cena is bigger than me, but who's wrestler of the year? Who's the greatest wrestler in the world? AJ Styles. And you should treat me as such. And it's going to be a respect thing, and that's where it's going to come. Shane's going to be like, you know what? You want respect? Earn the respect. You, me, WrestleMania. That's where it's going to come from. It's going to be a respect thing, in my opinion, I feel. But Let's see, what else are you guys saying? Gabe17 says I liked the Neville match. What do you think they are doing with the cruiserweight division? I feel like they are shoving that down our throats. Not really. They're not doing any more than they need to with the cruiserweights. If you really want to be honest, they should be doing more with the cruiserweights and putting them in more prominent positions. Like, yeah, you have the whole show devoted to them, 205 Live. It's an hour every week, and you have them on Raw. But they're really not doing anything prominent with them. So they're not really. I don't think they're shoving them down our throats. But Jim Bean says the women back in that generation were much better with storytelling and wrestling. Kinda. I mean, there's women there then that were really good like that, but there's women now that are like Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bailey, Asuka. Like there's women now that are good. So I mean, there were women then that were bad. Kelly, for example. So George Polakis says, so what do you think about the Shield? What about them? They broke up. They're not getting back anytime soon. James Lopez says the Shield reunion in the Rumble would have been cool. Heck, I guess. Ben Trammer has a serious question. He says, what did you rate this Rumble? Now, are you asking the Rumble match? Or are you asking the entire pay-per-view in a nutshell? Andre Dukes says, should Elimination Chamber feature a women's championship match inside the chamber? They could do it. It would be another first for the WWE, but I don't see it happening. I see it being a one-on-one match. Well, yeah, I think it's going to be a one-on-one match, Naomi and Alexa Bliss. They could do the 6 women we saw tonight in the 6 women in the Elimination Chamber, but I don't expect it. I feel like 2 Elimination Chambers on one night, yeah, they used to do it, and it was overkill. It's like the Hell in a Cell. Doing 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one night, it's overkill. Chauncey Bullock says Sunday Night Heat needs to return. I mean, I love Sunday Night Heat. But then people are going to complain. That's too much content. So, I mean, we kind of get Sunday Night Heat with the pre-shows on pay-per-view. And we get 2 pay-per-views a month almost. So, let's see. Fluffy Shoe says, are you happy with Randy winning? Or did you have somebody else to win it? I'm happy with Randy Orton winning the Royal Rumble. It's a change. Because, yeah, Randy's been at the top for 12 years or so now. But Randy hasn't been positioned at the top for a couple years now, really since WrestleMania 30. So now going back to Randy Orton, as one of the top guys on SmackDown, I like it. So, James Lopez, rate the Rumble match and the Rumble pay-per-view. I think overall the Rumble match, I guess if you rate it out of 5, give it a 3.5, 4 out of 5. Yeah, we'll say 4. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like over the top incredible. Pay-per-view in altogether, I guess let's say a 4 as well. So, let's see. Benjamin Dickerson said, man bun chance for hipsters, Roman as a company guy would hilarious. That's pretty funny. Um, just for fun gaming, they should bring back women's tag team championships. No, there's not enough women to do tag championships for women. But let's see. Supreme Bree 3345 PWU. Who do you want as a Royal Rumble match winner? What do you mean? We have a Royal Rumble match winner. It was Randy Orton. I don't know exactly what you're trying to ask there. But okay. Now that Ty Dillinger has debuted in the Royal Rumble, should he go to Raw or SmackDown? That's from Andre Dukes. I think he should go to SmackDown. Walsh says they should bring the 40-man Royal Rumble back to please everyone. The people who watch for surprises and such. Yeah, they could. They can say, okay, we have a 30-man Rumble, and then 10 spots are going to be surprise spots, but Yeah, they could do that. Gabe 17. Well, first, Benjamin Dickerson says American Alpha wasn't booked because they don't have a program with anybody right now because the SmackDown Tag Team title pool is shallow. And Gabe 17 says American Alpha should be a great tag team. It's just some teams in the division are look ingredients weak. Yeah, the SmackDown Tag Team division is really lacking a lot. So, not enough depth in the women's division for any tag team titles, let alone fully establishing tag teams. Very true, Jim Beam. Let's see. Austin Styles, do you think there will be a fifth title for SmackDown like another division or something? No. I think WWE has enough titles. They're not going to bring in anything at all. I don't see any more titles coming to the WWE. But all right, let's see. If you guys have any more questions, ask them now. Fluffy Shoe, do you think Mania setup match card is better than last year? Like, do you think, are you asking like the card we think we're going to get now that we're seeing build? Do I think the card this year will be better than last year? Is that what you're asking, Fluffy? Um, Supreme Bree 3345 is asking the question that got asked earlier about the women's. She says, should there be a SmackDown Elimination Chamber for the women? That would be cool. It would be cool. It would be new, but I don't think it's going to happen. Um, WZRD Mike, I feel like the revival will pop up on Tuesday. I don't see it. I think the revival might actually. They teased it last night. Get another tag title match in NXT. Signature Kevin, Nia Jax for Sasha Banks was not a good match, and it wasn't supposed to be a quote unquote good match. It was supposed to be a squash for Nia. And that's what it was. R1Geo says WWE should bring back the hardcore title like it won't happen. I know it won't happen, but it would be. Hold on. Yeah, you guys are blowing up this chat. We'll add more excitement for the crowd. Yeah? Okay. Fluffy was asking, do I think the Mania card this year could be better than last year? I think it can. Because we have. Let's see. I have it written down. The proposed matches so far. Let me go back in my notes here. Let me pull them up. Yep, old school. Got a notebook with notes. Oh, where is it? I have it written down. I know I did the video. If you guys have not seen, I did a video, let's say, yesterday. It was everything we know so far going into the WrestleMania and what matches we think are going to be, well, not what we think, but what I've been told are planned so far for WrestleMania. But I'm going to run that down for you right now if I can find it. I don't think I have it. Where's my notes? While I look for this, I'll read some more of your comments. Do you want Taker versus Roman? Please answer, and briefly, how would you book it? I mean, I know why they want to do it. I know why they want Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker. They want Roman Reigns in a match that will make him seem important, seem like a top guy. They feel like putting Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker would make him a top guy, make him somebody that the fans can think, okay, if he's facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania, then he's important. But I don't have these notes anymore. But as of right now, I think Roman has to win it too. Because if they're trying to establish Roman as that top guy in the company, like Cena B, the secondary guy to Cena, he has to beat The Undertaker. Because if he loses, then it's all for nothing. Ben Tramer, will Chris Benoit get in the Hall of Fame? You know, Neville has a better chance of getting in the Hall of Fame than Chris Benoit. Any updates on the new IC title and US title? No. I've seen on both Reddit and Twitter that a guy said that he's been tasked to create the titles, but I haven't seen anything. Now, Orange County Choppers noted yesterday on Twitter that they're actually working on a new Universal title. Now, I don't know if they're changing anything, but it's interesting. Do you think the Intercontinental Championship will change to the SmackDown Blue? I don't know. It's very unknown. They could do that, but I don't know. Like I said, all I know is that a guy said that he's been tasked out with creating new belts, but that's all he can say, and he can't really say anything else anymore. Superman Luke 66. Rey Mysterio has been confirmed for a return in 2017. No, he is not. What happened is that Conan has a radio show. Conan said that Rey Mysterio's deal with Lucha Underground is up. Rey Mysterio has the Lucha Underground deal similar to Del Rio did. Now, here's the thing. In Lucha Underground, they signed everybody to 7-season contracts. Not 7 years or no, not 7 years. 7 seasons, and they have to be with Lucha Underground for those 7 seasons. Now, there's ways to get out of that contract where if they don't get work from Lucha Underground within a certain amount of time, it can be voided, but we don't know any of that yet. But Rey Mysterio's deal was a season-by-season case, I want to say, and that's how Del Rio was as well. And with them done with season 3 for now, Rey's essentially done with the company unless he wants to sign on for more. So yes, Rey can come to WWE, but I haven't heard anybody on the WWE side say anything about Rey coming back or them even really having much interest in bringing Rey back. Just for fun gaming, do you think they'll do Daniel Bryan WrestleMania storyline to Bayley? I don't know. I know they want to book Bayley like they booked Daniel Bryan. So maybe. The proposed match right now for Bayley at WrestleMania, it's a Raw Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way. I got that right here. Okay. So at WrestleMania right now, it's proposed to do Goldberg Brock Lesnar, John Cena Samoa Joe, Triple H and Seth Rollins, Mickie James and Nikki Bella, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, the Raw Women's Title Match, Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, and Nia, Roman and The Undertaker, Shane McMahon, AJ Styles, Big Show, and Shaq. So, that's what they got right now. Now, I know there's a lot of guys that I didn't name because we don't know yet. WrestleMania is still essentially February, May, 2.5, 3 months away. So, and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We know that's going to happen. But Superman, Luke 66, Rey Mysterio said himself he wanted to come back, and Shane said it was a possibility. Shane McMahon, when and where did you see Shane McMahon say it was a possibility? I know Reyes said he'd like to come back, but where did you see Shane say that? Because I haven't heard that at all. If you're going to say like Talking Smack or SmackDown, that's incorrect. Because they haven't mentioned Rey Mysterio since really before he left. Well, since he left. Austin Styles, why can't UK Championship work on SmackDown as well as doing their promotion, or SmackDown bring a new division for SmackDown Live? What championship would you bring back if you ran SmackDown Live? I don't think they need another championship. But on the side of the UK Championship, yeah, they're working NXT. Yesterday, before the NXT TakeOver pre-show, they filmed this next week's edition of the NXT show. On that show, Tyler Bate worked, and so did Wolfgang. So they are bringing some of these guys in for NXT. That was unknown before this weekend if they were going to do it, but and then I think it was Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and somebody else. They actually, I think, worked the Progress show today, so Superman Luke 66 said in an interview with Shane did an interview. It had to be not associated with WWE at all. So, because if it was on WWE TV, he wouldn't have said anything. Walsh says, why would Shane would make the decision anyways? He's a TV GM, not a real one. Shane has pull in the company, but not much. Fluffy Shoe. How do you think Samoa Joe debuts on SmackDown if he faces Cena? I think they put him in the chamber. That's what I think. Let's see. Hey, we're getting up there an hour and a half already. Getting a long show tonight, but hey, it was a rumble. We got a lot to talk about. You guys got a lot of questions, and I'm here to answer all your questions. Just keep the chat family friendly, and we'll keep on going. Let's see. I'm gonna come up here. I know I missed some of your guys' questions earlier. Ryan Bergrandi, have you noticed that your subscriber count has gotten really high quickly this year? Yes, I have, and I said at the beginning of this video, thank you guys so much. We are at, as of this moment right now, 12,757 subscribers. I started this channel a year and a half ago. That number is not, it's way above what I thought I'd be at this point. We've got over 2,300 subscribers just in the last month alone. Like, this blows my mind how much support you guys give me, how much you like what I do, how much you, I guess, appreciate what I do. And hey, I appreciate you guys for all the support. But Elias Lee, hey man back at ya. Let's see. Luke Harper turning babyface. Yeah, it seems inevitable. Chauncey Bullock asked that. Gabe17, are you going to any WWE events this year? I'm not sure. I gotta see which ones are coming up near me. I mean, I assume I'll go to some house shows if they got some here, but excuse me. As far as big shows or pay-per-views or anything, I don't know yet. It really just all depends on what shows come here in California and whatnot. But I want to go to some shows every year. Just for fun gaming says you deserve it. Well, thank you. Thank you a lot. Superman Luke 66. Your thoughts on John Cena winning the championship? Excuse me. Cena winning the championship. It's good. I mean, the match was good. Cena winning his 16th title. It's better than him winning it at a non-big show. Like, if he was going to win his 16th title, it had to come to either Mania, Rumble, or SummerSlam. But I feel like the timing right now, if everything plays out the way that we think it's going to play out, it should have happened at Mania. Or at SummerSlam. Because for him to only hold it for like 2 weeks and then drop it into Elimination Chamber, it makes his 16th title run worthless. So, Jim Bean, WrestleMania has solid thoughts, but we have to see if they execute them. Exactly. Vince can change his mind at any time, and he can be like, you know what? We were going to do Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt for the title, and then the day of Elimination Chamber, Cena keeps the belt. So we really don't know. Jim Bean, and build them up in the right way. So that brings me to the question, what do you think? Do you think WWE will make the right decisions? I think they'll make I think the decisions they make, they will feel is the best decisions they can make. Because when Vince puts together a show, he puts a show together and he feels, that's the best stuff we can do this week. Those are great ideas. Whether the fans like it or not, Vince thinks they're good ideas, so that's what Vince goes with. Let's see. Benjamin Dickerson, Angle versus Rusev. That could be a good match. Fluffy Shrew, congrats on your channel. I'm happy for you. Well, thank you, Fluffy. I appreciate that. Lowell Laura says, can you give your thoughts on the whole Piggy James story? Because that was the worst storyline in women's wrestling history. Congratulations on your subscribers. You deserve it. Thank you. And, yeah. I was told two different things about this before. I was told that they were doing it to show why you shouldn't bully somebody, and that if you're being bullied, you can fight back. But at the same time, other people told me that they did it because they were really just mad that Mickey was gaining weight. So I don't know the real story on that. There's two sides to everything, and yeah. Daniel Gomez. Roman Reigns is like WWE's version of Floyd Mayweather. Wow. Super Breebree 3345. Everyone needs to subscribe to Tim now. Follow him and me on Twitter. Well, thanks for that one, Super Breebree. Supreme Breebree. Let's see. Just fun for gaming. Thoughts on Hogan and relationship with WWE? They want to bring him back. I can see Hogan popping up at Mania or right before Mania. Andres Saceda, do you still think Rock and Vin Diesel at Mania? They may have some sort of a altercation. I don't know if it's gonna be a match. Here's the thing with that. Vince wants Rock to wrestle. Rock doesn't want to wrestle. Rock has movies coming up that he's got to film, and if he's got a movie to film, he can't wrestle. Universal, which is owned by NBC, which is a big contributor to the WWE because WWE is on the USA Network, is trying to get WWE to do something at Mania to promote the next Fast and the Furious movie. So they think doing something with The Rock and Vin Diesel together would be a good way to promote the next Fast and the Furious. I don't know why they feel like they need WrestleMania to promote Fast and Furious, because that movie is on its name alone is going to do good numbers. But yeah, that's the plan. Everybody involved with the movie, Universal Studios and NBC, who owns Universal and who owns the USA Network that Raw and SmackDown are on. That's why they want The Rock and Vin Diesel to promote that movie. But let's see. God, movies ruin everything. Walsh. Let's see what else are you saying. Benjamin Dickerson. I like Mickey James versus Bliss. Feel that Bliss can really sell her side of the feud. Bliss? No, right now they're doing Mickey James and Alexa Bliss. I mean, Mickey James and Becky Lynch. Walsh, The Rock should just stop doing movies. He's already got enough to last him 5 lifetimes. But The Rock loves making movies. Like, you guys don't understand. The Rock doesn't do it for the money. The Rock does it because he loves making movies and he loves playing these characters. So that's why he does it, because he enjoys doing it. No, Laura says, can I do a top 10 of women's wrestlers from Mickey James' generation? Well, I'll put that down as a consideration for a countdown. I do want to do more countdown videos. I have a couple scheduled to come out in the next couple of weeks. So, James Lopez, Rock wouldn't have no one for him to fight. And where's Eric Rowan? Eric Rowan had surgery. I don't remember exactly on what, but he was out injured, had to have surgery. And I think he's waiting to either get cleared or he just got cleared recently. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles of Mania. Nope. Samoa Joe versus John Cena. Flash Out says, do you think WWE are intentionally getting us to hate Roman to foreshadow a heel turn in the future? No. They really want to push Roman as the top babyface in the company. R1 Ghost says, don't ask me why, but I think Stone Cold was going to be there tonight. You probably thought that because they were in Texas. I actually heard that a couple times. So you're not the only one, bud. Brad Cheney. And what NXT call-ups do you see between now and SummerSlam? Now in SummerSlam, that's hard to call. But I know the next one should be Dillinger and Joe. Other than them, I'm not really sure who else you can call up right now. Tag team-wise, either DIY or Revival. But other than that, I don't think anybody else is really ready. Walsh, I know this won't happen, but do you think The Rock could ever do another full-time schedule? I'm not saying it a possibility, but if it were to happen, could he still hang? The Rock can hang no problem. It's the fact that he doesn't want to do it. But are you asking if The Rock can hang? Oh, yeah, no, without a doubt. Chris Styles. Where does Finn fit in all this? Unknown. They just need to make sure that Finn can be back in time for Mania. There is a plan put to the side for Finn Balor, but nobody is acting on it until about March when they know Finn's fully healed and 100% cleared. Signature Kevin, are you happy that Neville finally won the title, and who should Neville feud with? Well, I know at first he's going to feud with Swan. You know, they're going to keep this going. Swan's going to get his rematch. Then afterwards, maybe Gallagher, TJ Perkins, Superman Luke 66. Are you mad that no one returned tonight? No. I wasn't expecting anybody returning from like injury or anything, or big returns to the company. I felt like if there was going to be any surprises, it was either going to be someone from NXT or somebody that's just popping up for the Rumble. Jim Beam says, I think they will break up. I think the DIY will break up soon. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. No lore. Tim, would you see Mickie James doing a shoot promo on Nikki Bella about the real reason she is on SmackDown? No. They will. I will be shocked if they ever bring up the whole Mickie James and John Cena stuff. I will be shocked. They could, but I doubt it. Let's see. Benjamin Dickerson, he's too. Benjamin Dickerson, Rock won't be back full time ever again. He's too bankable in movies. The Rock is the highest paid actor in the world. Rock makes more money than anybody doing movies, and he does multiple movies a year, so. Swamps 4 Gaming, why was Samoa Joe not in the Rumble? Rumble was booked horribly in my opinion. Good title changes, but Roman at number 30 made me headbutt my wall. I don't know why Joe wasn't in there. That's been the question of the night. Where was Joe? We saw Joe Saturday sitting in the crowd watching NXT TakeOver. So we assume, oh, Joe's just sitting here watching. That means Joe's going to be on the Rumble. In the Rumble. Nope. I'm really at a loss of words when you guys keep asking that, because I don't know. And I don't know if anybody really knows outside the WWE right now. But let's see. Benjamin Dickerson, Jack Gallagher vs. Neville undermines the strong heel heat Neville is building. They need a strong cruiserweight face return. Well, I know once Austin Aries is healed from his eye injury, he's going to probably join the cruiserweight division. But he's a heel. Austin Styles, when Joe comes to main roster and fights Cena, do you think it will be for the title or a regular match? When Rude and Young are done with NXT, do you think they will also come to the main roster, and what brands? Now, I don't think it's going to be for the title at WrestleMania, because the title match for SmackDown is supposed to be Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. Now, as far as Rude and Eric Young, I can see Bobby Roode on Raw. I don't know why, but I just feel like Bobby Roode can do good on Raw. And Eric Young on SmackDown. And Jim Beam, hashtag where was Joe? Should Baron Corbin go for the IC title? I think he should. I think give Baron Corbin the IC title and see what he can do with it. Superman Luke 66. What is Jeff Hardy's relationship with the WWE? I don't know if there is one at all. Him and Matt are signed to TNA till at least February. Whether he has interest in coming back and if the WWE has interest in bringing him back, I don't know. Let's see. Joe is Swamps 4 Gaming here has Joe is done with NXT. Makes sense to call him up. Was praying Samoa Joe entered when Brock laid out everybody, or removed a jobber and stick Roman number 29 and Joe number 30. We can't harp on it. It didn't happen. I mean, you can say all you want that, oh, I'm so upset that Joe wasn't in the Rumble, but they have a different plan for him. The plan wasn't to bring Joe into the Rumble, so we're going to have to wait and see. Like I said, he's supposed to come back on SmackDown, and we'll go from there. No lore says Tim, Eddie Guerrero over Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 22 or Asuka debuting on SmackDown. Choose one. Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 22? You mean Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels? I think you're getting a little confused. I mean, unless I'm wrong. WrestleMania 22 was. Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking it up right here. WrestleMania 22 was Vince Sean, not Vince Eddie. Sean Eddie. Signature Kevin says Jeff did an interview in December. He said that he and Matt are going to re-sign with TNA when their contract expires. They're very happy in TNA because they get to do whatever they want. Jeff Walsh. Jeff is not on bad terms right now, but he was. I don't. To be honest, we don't really know the situation between Jeff Hardy and WWE, and legally, until his contract's up with TNA, he can't have any "I want to come back" kind of, I guess, conversations. Then now and forever ask any news on the Elimination Chamber match. All we know is that John Cena is going in the champ. AJ Styles should be in the match. Bray Wyatt should be in the match. As far as the other three, it's unknown right now. Maybe Samoa Joe. Maybe Luke Harper. I don't know. Do you think Roman versus Joe could be a thing? Not anytime soon. Jim Bean asks about the Roman Joe. I don't think anytime soon. Andre Dukes, what are your predictions for Raw tomorrow? I feel like Cesaro and Sheamus are going to either ask for or get a rematch for the tag titles because they're going to play up the whole fact that Anderson used the tights. We got Shane versus not Shane versus, but Shane Stephanie face to face. And other than that, I think Brock's supposed to be on the show. I don't know if Goldberg's scheduled or not. Not that I heard. As far as this week on SmackDown, we're going to have John Cena as the new champ. So AJ's going to come out, and he's probably going to demand a rematch. Shane's probably going to deny that and say, you'll get your rematch inside the Elimination Chamber. So, Daniel Gomez, thoughts on NXT TakeOver San Antonio? It had good matches, but it wasn't one of the better NXT TakeOvers. The DIY and Authors of Pain match was better than expected. Nakamura and Rude was an okay match, and then that last 5 minutes, it turned into a great match because Nakamura sold the knee injury perfectly. I don't know many others that could have sold that well. And yeah, the Roderick Strong Cien Almas match, it was just there. The Eric Young Ty Dillinger match was really good. The women's Fatal 4-Way was alright. But signature, oh no. Superman Luke 66. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time? Of all time? It's a tough one. Because I know growing up, I was a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. And then when Stone Cold left, I became a Randy Orton fan. And then I transitioned, and, well, I liked Daniel Bryan when he was on the Indies, but I didn't follow the Indies a lot when I was about 10 years ago. I knew who Daniel Bryan was, and he was my favorite guy on the Indies from what I had seen. And then Daniel Bryan came to WWE, and I transitioned into a Daniel Bryan fan because I had known him from the Indie days, and whatnot. And then now that Daniel Bryan's gone, I've known AJ since TNA. I've been watching TNA since the beginning, and I've loved AJ Styles since then. So right now, my favorite is AJ Styles. So it's a toss-up. My favorite of all time, it's either AJ or Stone Cold Steve Austin. I can't really choose one or the other, but let's see. Just for Fun Gaming says, what happened to the Slammy Awards? They just chose not to do it. I don't even know if they ever had a plan to do it in 2016 or not, but it just wasn't done. Let's see what else you guys got. Which tag team should be pushed on SmackDown? American Alpha. I mean, they're tag champs, and they should be the tag champs. They're probably the best tag team on SmackDown. If you want a team to go against them, I guess the Usos. But Benjamin Dickerson says the Broken Matt character is good, but their creative is unpolished. TNA, you can get away. TNA, you can get away with that. Yeah, I guess they're trying to. Anthem's trying to do some new things. We're gonna have to wait and see. I know this last set of TV tapings was apparently a mess. So we're gonna have to wait and see exactly what happens. I talked to some people at Universal Studios, and they said that with the new management of TNA, because they were so new, they weren't aware of some of the policies at Universal Studios, and it really made things hectic, and some even called it a disaster. Do you think Jeff would be better off in WWE or stay in TNA? I know he wants to come back to WWE to end his career, but I think he should stay in TNA because he gets to do whatever he wants. Excuse me. Sorry for that one. Eye Fusion. What was your reaction to seeing Roman as number 30? Oh my god. It was are you freaking kidding me? I mean, when that music hit, I was just like, are you kidding me? James Lopez, they need to take out a couple of the pay-per-views. They actually, I think, have. When they first started the brand split, the plan was 19 pay-per-views in 2017. And now I think they've got it down to 17 the last I heard. Signature Kevin, whatever happened to Sin Cara and Grand Metalik? Sin Cara is now a jobber on Raw, and Grand Metalik has been working house shows in Florida for NXT. Just for fun gaming, who do you think should be fired from WWE? I don't see why they need to fire anybody right now. Nobody's doing anything wrong. They need the talent for Raw and SmackDown, so why fire anybody? If you're going to fire somebody, you fire the guys in developmental that aren't progressing. I mean, that's about it. Swaps for Gaming. When is Joe and Dillinger meant to fully debut on the main roster? I know Dillinger was in the Rumble, but will he start off straight away? It's unknown, Ty Dillinger. When is Dillinger supposed to come in? He could start this week. He could not. We don't know. As far as Joe, he was heavily rumored for Joe to be in the Rumble. And now that he wasn't, maybe he comes at the Elimination Chamber? Or he comes this week. We have this Tuesday on SmackDown, the next Tuesday on SmackDown, and boom, Elimination Chamber. It's that fast. We have 2 SmackDowns before Chamber. So Joe can come on one of those, or he comes at the Chamber. I don't know. Tonight, for the Joe prediction, I guess predicting when Joe's coming in, threw everything for a loop. But, no, Laura says, worst thing Jeff Hardy did was Victory Road. When embarrassing moment. Oh, yes. When he came out to the Sting match, I guess some say he was drunk, some say he was high, some say he was just whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't think we'll ever fully know what happened there. But he couldn't even stand in the ring. Sting just called it and said, this is going to be a quick 45-second match or whatever it was. But yeah, Jeff Hardy was messed up. Victory Road 2011. Holy crap. Supreme Bree 3345. Sammy needs to win a title this year. Kevin Owens actually said that a match with him and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania could be a show-stealing great match. Kevin Owens recently said that, so that's saying something. Because if you remember last year, was it Battleground or it was Payback? Payback. Was it Payback or was it Battleground? One of those two. I think it was Payback. Either way, it was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and that match, amazing. It's one of those things, like I said earlier, you have a guy that you have your best matches with. You have Austin and Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. And I think it's because they've been working together for so long, even before they were in WWE. They're legit best friends. Sami Zayn is Kevin Owens' son's godfather. Like, that might be one other reason why they work so well together. Because they say, you'll hit your best friend harder than you'll hit anybody else. Because you know that they ain't going to take it literally. They want you to hit them harder because they want to have that good match. So, James Lopez, didn't you know that in social media, Reigns announced that he would be in the Rumble, so I wasn't shocked? Really? Was it on his Twitter? I'm going to go look that up really fast then. You say that on social media, Roman Reigns announced he was going to be in the Rumble. Roman Reigns. Let me go look at his Twitter then. You say. Let's see. Because that I did not see. Well, really, because it wasn't on Twitter. Roman Reigns hasn't tweeted since the 25th. So, James, please let me know where you saw that, because I need to find that then. Zayn versus Reigns. Reigns post-Mania heel turn would be a badass program from Benjamin Dickerson. Guy Lordy, what are your thoughts on the way they are using Enzo? That's the only way they can use Enzo. Enzo can sell, and Enzo can ragdoll. That's about it. Benjamin Dickerson, would you like to see Enzo move to the cruiserweights if that's possible? No. You say Instagram. Well, let me go look that up then. Let's go Instagram. I'm going to go up Roman Reigns on Instagram. We're going to do some deep investigating right now. Let's see. Roman Reigns Instagram. That's a fan page. Roman Reigns Instagram. Let's find his official one, because I've got a couple fan pages pop up. Oh. That's Twitter. Not seeing. James, do you know his actual Instagram name? Roman Reigns. Because there's a lot of Roman Reigns on Instagram popping up, but not that. Either WWE or Roman Reigns. Let's see WWE on Instagram. Okay, so I see where you may have seen it on the WWE Instagram page, but that was, I believe, after he was already in. Like, he came out as number 20. So if you're saying that you saw it on the actual Instagram page for WWE, that's what it is. It was, he came out and they said, oh, Roman's the final entrant. But let me see. Roman Reigns. I'm not finding an actual Roman Reigns Instagram page. So, like, nothing certified as a real one. Yeah, I don't see an actual Roman Reigns page itself, so. Jimmy Godfrey Smith says he doesn't have an Instagram page. James Lopez says, I saw it on WWE's Instagram. Yeah, that was then. If you saw it on WWE's Instagram, then that was, he came out as number 30, and then they posted. Hashtag Roman Reigns is the final entrant in the 2017 hashtag Royal Rumble. So, yeah, that's what it was. Oh, one other thing. Did you guys see the pants Carmelo was wearing tonight? The picture on the James Ellsworth shirt was all over her pants. Like, how funny was that? Like, that was hilarious. You said you saw it weeks ago? You sure it wasn't just like some sort of a promotion for the pay-per-view itself? But maybe they did and no one noticed it, but I don't know. Interesting. I'm going through their Instagram now and I'm not seeing. Yeah, it'd be. I mean, you have to go back. You said weeks ago, but let's see what else you guys are talking about. We have a couple more minutes here before we close up this live stream. Benjamin Dickerson, because losing a title match the same night means you can just hop into the Rumble. Hey, I think we've seen it before, where somebody was in a title match, didn't win it, so they jumped in the Rumble. I don't believe this was the first time. Randy become the champ? I don't know. Supreme Bree 3345. They actually are booking WrestleMania now. They need to take their time in order for WrestleMania to be great. And that's the plan. They have a good card with about, I think, they have most of the matches, from what I was told, they have most of the matches set up for WrestleMania. They know where they want to go and what direction they want to go into WrestleMania. So as far as that goes, they're going to now what they call book backwards. They're going to go from Mania, plan everything out, and then, and then go from there as far as how they want to book everything leading up. Fusion, are you glad the club finally became tag team champions? Of course. I mean, it was long overdue. All the losing they did. Whew. Funky Chicken 20. What's your favorite Rumble moment? From tonight or from ever? Signature Kevin. Do you think AJ Styles, Smojo, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries should become a group of heels? No. No. What are we going to do? Just put the TNA guys together? You not know Zelda? Why wasn't AJ in the Rumble? Because it wasn't planned for the Rumble. They have another plan for AJ. So the here's the thing that people are not understanding. I guess you can say, no offense. The reason Roman Reigns was in the Rumble was to set up Roman Reigns, is to have a reason to do Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That was it. That was the reason they did it. Roman Reigns eliminated The Undertaker, so now, once Roman's done with the Braun Strowman feud, which will probably go till Fastlane, then they can do Undertaker versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Boom. It's already set. Jim Beam, Undertaker deserves a great opponent every year, not Roman Bloody Reigns. They want Roman in the top match, and they feel doing the Undertaker match with him is the top match. But alright guys, we went 2 hours on this live stream. We've never gone that long here, and had a lot of fun, but I think we're gonna end it here. It's getting late, and so hey, it was fun. I loved doing this. I want to do more live streams with you guys because it was, like I said, great fun. But hey, I also want to give a shout out to @TrackSmack on Twitter, as they won our 10,000K Royal Rumble giveaway. He already DM'd me with his information, but again, I want to say congratulations on winning our giveaway. He will be getting a John Cena t-shirt soon in the mail. But again, thank you guys for joining us here on the live stream. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I hope you guys liked our take on, my take on the Royal Rumble. And hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye. Jim Bean says, one last question. Go for it. It'll be the last one there, Jim. You got a question or not? Yay, last question. Oh, you were saying, okay, never mind. You were saying you got in the last question. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time.